10 seconds.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we go, game number 4 of the series. That's right, game number 4. This being a best of 5, of course. HellRaisers still up 2-1, but Empire starting the long journey of the comeback, down 2-0. They won the previous game. Now trying to force what would be a 5th and final game with another victory right here. This is the SkinCoin WCA European Region Finals. Again, both teams already qualifying for the land portion of the event, but at this point they're playing for essentially, I believe it's $15,000 on the line here. Second place will get $15,000. First place gets $30,000. And then the land event, again, both of these teams are already going to. So, a pretty big deal. Looking forward to a fun game 4 now. I'm BreakyCPK, and going to be joined by Rhyme once again as my co-caster. And Ryan, we have a interesting start, to say the least. We got a Clockwork into a Brewmaster coming out from Empire.
Yeah, this is unorthodox, to say the least. Well, HellRaisers going, well, Shaker first. Well, that seems like a good idea. I guess we'll do that. But Clockwork, he's just generally good versus Earthshaker. He just kind of spends his time just hunting Earthshakers. He pretty much outroams him quite easily. The whole you can't cast any spells when you're Earthshaker against Clockwork, because the cast point of all of Earthshaker's spells, I think, are like 0.37 seconds. When the interval for Battery Assault was like 0.35 or something. I can't remember. It's something like that. But it's like a tiny bit of a gap, but Earthshaker's cast points are just a bit too long, so he can't cast anything when he's in Cogs and Battery Assault. So naturally, that's just kind of a counter pick that people have kind of used for a while. But Brewmaster this early on, yeah, they just like playing with Brewmaster, I guess. They feel very comfortable teamfighting with it. He's also a fairly effective pusher as well. He's just generally pretty flexible. He can be mid, he can be offlane. They mostly run it offlane, but he can be both. So, yeah, fairly versatile. Clockwork can roam or offlane as well. So,
HellRaisers turn to
Enigma's
keeping their options open.
Yeah, Enigma's very curious to me, though. HellRaisers, again, the Sexy Bamboo is a comfortable hero for him for sure. They ran it obviously in the game 2 there. But they picked it up into a Clockwork already, and I know that this idea, you shouldn't just pick up Enigma solely for the black hole by any means, but Clockwork makes it very. You mentioned the Battery Assault against Earthshaker; it's great against Enigma as well for the idea if he has it active while he trying to channel a black hole. Of course, it's not going to work, and then even with the BKB though, Hookshot will still stop said ability. So, I mean, I guess it's not enough of a reason to deter them from going it, of course, but does it maybe confuse you a little bit as well, or is it just maybe that it's just such a comfortable pick that it's still a strong one?
Clockwork isn't the strongest counter, but like he's annoying. He can cancel it sometimes, but you have to do it kind of right sometimes. Otherwise, you just end up killing yourself because you jump into a Midnight Pulse and there's an Earthshaker there, and you might get fissured afterwards. So maybe if HellRaisers construct their draft in a way that isn't entirely reliant around the black hole as their only way of killing people, then it might not be such a concern. But they're probably, they're already banning out Rubik. They're probably going to ban out Silencer next, so they maximize the chance of being able to utilize this Enigma to its full potential. Because Enigma, when it's a good Enigma game, Enigma does just crush. Sometimes he just gets his Midas, and then he gets all of his items, his Midas, Blink, BKB, Octarine Core, Boots of Travel, Refresher, you name it. Like, he just gets these items, and then he just kills people. You just get jumped on by Enigma, you're dead, no one saves you, you know?
Yeah.
He presses BKB, and then someone who's in his arms is, they're not too happy. So Enigma can be extremely good if it's a good Enigma game, but he can also fall flat if he doesn't do very well in lane and he has a slow mid game. So probably going to ban out Silencer here.
Warlock is definitely another hero that does come to mind, although we do not see as much Warlock obviously being played. And again, the Silencer, the idea anywhere he is, he could just press R and it would cancel said ability. So yeah, definitely liking the idea of that option as a ban. I'm looking at the other side from Empire. Speaking of bans here, noticing that Skywrath Mage take it away. That's a curious one. They ended up going Arc Warden ban. Okay, we saw him in the game 2 long game that was ultimately the losing effort for Empire, but that was picked up earlier in the series. But that means Silencer is left open, so it could be possible here from Empire.
Yeah, Chappie's most comfortable hero, probably by far, is Arc Warden at this point. He's just the Arc Warden player for the most part. So, yeah, banning that out, making sure they're okay going into late, because Arc Wardens, they get instant Silencer pick. So the Arc Warden's just nice versus Enigma. It gives you some source of damage that you don't mind if it gets black hole. It gives you something to put in the front. It lets you push towers and split push. Enigma's not the greatest Enigma split push, but he's okay. But against a hero like Arc Warden, he's just not already enough. So makes good sense to ban that out. And obviously, Silencer, well, he's going to prove a problem for Bambo here to really do very much.
And so now, what's the play around that? If you're HellRaisers, maybe getting somebody that we saw the last game, the Lycan, just literally beelining towards the Oracle in that last game, and so maybe that's going to be of some logic here. You get once again here Lycan or similar idea that could just go right towards the Silencer, try to pick him off ASAP, and prevent that global science from being used in the fight. But we'll see. We'll see how HellRaisers decides to go about that. So. But yeah, the Skywrath ban, I'm still kind of looking at that. There was a team that ran the Skywrath Mage. I can't remember if it actually was HellRaisers. It might have been, but anyways, they end up with Bane now with their third pick. This is a hero that has been getting some attention in this event.
This Bane is like, he's extremely strong in the early game. Like already, like you can see from these three heroes, like all three of them, well, two of them at least have a big problem versus Silencer, right? Global just kind of stops your go for the most part, right? But I think the goal here is use Enigma to get dominance in their off lane, use Pug or Bane to really secure mid and make their mid lane pretty strong, and then Earthshaker to act defensively to kind of bolster up their lanes a bit. So HellRaisers already need to play these heroes pretty fast. They can't go for like the like BKB Midas on Enigma. They can't do this stuff. They can't wait for that. They need to just go. And Drow Ranger, she plays very well into that.
Yeah, the fourth pick, Drow Ranger from HellRaisers, so gives you an idea what they're thinking.
10 seconds.
So they got a decent Drow lineup. Enigma, of course, will definitely benefit from having that.
5 seconds remaining.
You do have Pugna, though, from the fourth pick for Empire. And speaking of Enigma with the Eidolon push, obviously that Nether Blast could be a nice tool to prevent it from being over-the-top effective. But going with the Drow lineup, and if you're thinking about a final ban here for Empire, I mean, off the bat, something like a Viper comes to mind for me. To really fit that synergy, and if you need a strong mid hero, always going to be one. So,
yeah, HellRaisers have nothing really to kind of sit in the front. So banning something like Viper would probably be a good idea because they do have a problem killing it. But they go for Storm, which provides a little bit of jump. So Storm can basically just go and jump the Panda. They follow up the Drow Silence, and Drow happens to fall over. Or, yeah, or Silencer falls over, or Brew falls over, or something like that. So. Yeah, no, they just need to pick something that can either jump the Brewmaster or Pugna, or is happy to get jumped by the Brewmaster or Pugna. So
10 seconds remaining.
Puck maybe comes to mind.
Viper's okay. Puck is gonna have problems, I think, versus these heroes, but maybe it'd be okay with like Yules and things like that. So something to maybe just punish the Pugna in lane. I think Viper's pretty good here, but for Kaiser, I think his thing, I would say TA, but I don't think it's a good TA game, especially with Clockwork and Pugna. Lone Druid, okay.
So does that mean that's going to be a safe lane Lone Druid and then a mid Drow? Or are they doing something different?
It's an option, but I think it could just... Like, I'm pretty sure 33 should be playing the Lone Druid because he is the Lone Druid player, and I think in Europe now he's just the guy to go to if you want to play that hero, you know. So he was spamming it in matchmaking for several years now. He sits like 8.7k. He used to just play Lone Druid off lane, then he switched to carries more recently. But I think having him on that Lone Druid is probably a safe bet. So yeah, you could be seeing Drow mid, just kind of accepting that Pugna will push into the tower, and you just kind of get your 6 pretty early, and then you make rotations with a Bane and Earthshaker to kind of get kills that way. But you could just as easily have Drow on the safe lane, and 33 just plays the Lone Druid mid, so he plays it pretty much everywhere.
It seems like Empire could still use a bit of a right-click threat, unless they plan on doing like a safe lane Brewmaster, which we've seen before, but you'd expect it's going to be more the offlane, especially coming off the last game, and they have 10 seconds now to choose. They think that's going to be...
The clock is ticking. It's rough. They need some carry that can just jump the Drow. Morphling. Well, that can do the job, but not for a while. So, yeah, so Kaiser's going to be taking the Drow, which means 33 will be taking the Lone Druid. So, Empire really need to just survive their lanes. Like, once they get to, like, Chappie gets his, like, what, Veil, Etherlands, or something like that, Panda gets his Blink, and maybe just Blink, and they get good levels on their supports, like, and they can just kind of stabilize the game by keeping lanes pushed out, they'll be okay. But this could go quite wrong if they lose a few kills in lanes, you know?
Yeah.
Because they have a very slow draft here.
It's going to take a while to come online for sure. I'm also noticing FN's the one playing Morphling
10
here.
seconds remaining.
And Chappie's on the Pugna. I believe we saw the last game with Chappie playing the Pugna.
Remaining.
Yeah, I think FN is, apart from maybe like Arquorden, he's their hard one player for the most part. Like FN, that's what he plays in pubs for the most part. He does play mid sometimes, and he's pretty good at it too. But I think he played mid in pretty much every game with Resolution. But now Chappie's back, he's like, give me the Morphling, give me the one position heroes. So
yeah,
that's what he's most comfortable playing.
That is interesting because he has been playing a lot. At the same time, I know he's been playing like Queen of Pain and Mirana mid even quite a bit in this event. So it's just one of those things. So it seems like it's depending on the hero specifically, they'll swap it up here.
Yeah, FN does pick Morphling a lot in pubs, and Chappie pretty much never plays it. When he does, I'm pretty sure if you're Empire, you'd rather have FN playing it than Chappie.
Okay.
Because it's more FN's kind of thing. So FN will be going to the safe lane. He'll be doing a pretty standard double tango, like one start. You know, you buy the stick at the side shop, and you buy boots, and you buy ring of health, and you just kind of survive the lane. Chappie will be going mid. They're going to smoke up immediately, so you'll be seeing probably Miposhka. Yeah, he's already TPing. Can't see exactly where he's TPing because they paused at that exact moment, but he's going to be trying to get a ward down. And HellRaisers will be doing the same thing.
All right, here we go. Loading into what is game number 4 now. Again, 2-1 series lead for HellRaisers here on the Dire side. So, going back to the Lone Druid, you have a Drow on your team. It almost seems like that the idea of the ranged Lone Druid build would make sense because of that, or do you think that the Bear build actually has more logic because you need that frontliner?
I think it makes more sense here, especially the fact that they have a Pugna that can just interfere with the Bear a lot, and like Brewmaster can put Mischance on it, and Clockwork can just interfere with Cogs as well. I think it makes a lot more sense to have the ranged Lone Druid build this game, which you can already see he's got the Wraithband start, so he's probably going to be going into Akira and then Phase Boots on a safe lane.
Okay.
So I think the idea with HellRaisers draft here is to just get what you can with the Drow, with Bane helping out. Try and use the Lone Druid's lane dominance to kind of secure him farm against the Panda, and then pretty much direct everything else to helping out the Enigma, which is Milan. He's just going to be sitting around fissuring, and then together they should be able to get quite a lot out of this lane.
Well, Sexy Bamboo, he's set up down here, the boots and 4 clarities. Going to be denying early on, of course, but sure enough, Drow will be in the middle lane as expected. 3-3 on the Lone Druid in that safe lane. And to start, Milan's actually going to block form, it looks like. Here in the middle lane as well, so. Oh, he missed the first creep. Awkward. Will he get here in time?
So,
yes.
The ideal block, and Miposhka's going to be blocking for Chappie, and he's also going to Cog, so this is going to end up right in Chappie's town. Which means J4 is going to have a hard time really doing that much. And also he's going to miss the courier as well, so J4, he's not too happy about this. Just going to be waiting for a courier that's possibly never going to come.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't coming, buddy. So J4, he'll have to figure out what else he wants to do instead. And you see Chappie right off the bat using that Decrepify to prevent last hitting from Kaiser. And especially with that attack animation of the Drow Ranger, it's a very slow attack animation. So I'm sure Pugna will have a decent time of using the set ability for that purpose, as J4 is here now to say hello.
He's not really doing much, though. He's just kind of taking XP. He's not really helping Drow really last hit. Chappie's already pulling ahead in CS. So, if Chappie farms in this lane, I think he's just difficult to deal with for HellRaisers draft.
It's been the theme of this series. Pugna's been a very potent hero for both teams that have gotten him in Game 2 and it's Game 1 and then Game 3 as we saw last game.
He's really kind of been used to his full potential, I think. In the last game as well, you really saw it. He just buys a blink, he just blinks to some location where no one can really reach him, and then he just ultis for about 15 seconds straight on various heroes and then does a ridiculous amount of damage. So he's going to get wrapped around on by Bane, who has Brain Sap, so there's no real threat to Chappie at this point, but there's probably some unfavorable trading coming his way.
It does look like they're trying to be patient, though, with Milana coming here, but he knows Clockwork's here, and maybe he's waiting for them to kind of overcommit, and then he'll poke out, but he's just sitting on the uphill for now.
Dire's
Playing as a
bottom
safety
tower
net
is
and just
under
keeping an
attack.
eye on Clockwork. It's going to stack yet again, but the block will prevent that. And so no second stack for the Clockwork there in that camp at least. So some fun mind games coming out. Milan running away. He's going to take some damage. The clarity taken off, I believe, but not a big deal. But middle lane, J4. Now he's really putting the right clicks into Chappie. Especially with
All the things to trade with. An Arcane, Rune Drought, or a Bane is not one of the things you want to be trading with.
True.
He's just getting brain sapped every 10 seconds and hits for 70 with 600 HP with a lot of armor. Is just that hero's stats at the beginning are mainly part of the reason he's picked so often, because his spells really aren't that great. But he's really good at just being annoying in lane.
Clockwork. Okay. Interesting.
Well, you can see what they were going for,
Yes.
but doesn't really work out as they wanted.
The nightmare was even necessary there at that point. It was the fissure block was going to be great, and yeah, that was a little bit of miscommunication there. We'll call it that. But Clockwork, he eventually walks away, takes a little bit of damage, but he is fine. So Milan now soaking up some experience in the middle lane. It's one of those cases. It's yes, you want to be around for a kill, but you can't hang around forever. You don't want to make your Drow completely underleveled
Dire's bottom tower
in this
is
game.
under
Drow's
attack.
farming pretty well, and Chappie's getting pressured, so I think they're achieving what they want at this mid lane. They're fine just using all the support's time, because honestly, they can't really pressure the Morphling, because the Morphling Silencer lane with just an Enigma off lane, they don't really have the tools to fight them. Oh,
Wow.
Makoshka goes down.
Yeah, that he found Bane by himself with the battery saw Cogs, but Drow and Earthshaker just ran over, and Drow especially did a fantastic job there of getting just close enough to the Cogs without actually getting hit by it, and thus being able to help finish off the Clockwork in that kind of awkward exchange that was going on. So first blood drawn in favor of the Drow Ranger. Just like that, up 1-0 now in this game. So great start. All right, there are other lanes, though, so let's take a look at the top lane especially. Lone Druid right now at 21, but how about this Brewmaster? He is 21-2. Gostic's having a fantastic time.
Yeah, he's doing fine, but the problem is now he's running out of alcohol to throw at his lane opponent, so Lone Druid's going to be hitting level 5, and Panda's probably going to have to trying to get mana back, but that's not up for a while. But they're probably going to catch Milan here. And here you see, he tries to fissure, but no can do.
Yeah. Battery Assault, strong ability. Against a hero like that as he's stressed from the draft, so. Nice find. Kaiser
Radiant's
does have the
bottom
Ring of
tower is
Aquila
under
here in the middle
attack.
lane. Got those brown boots, something else being delivered. That's going to be a magic wand, actually. You'll like that for the old Nether Blast coming out from Pugna. Add some charges. Bottom lane, haven't mentioned that yet, but Morphling 25-10. Sexy Bamboo on that Enigma 10-7. So safe to say Morphling is having a great time down there.
For the most part, I think Bambo's aspiring to be a non-combatant in this game. He just doesn't really want to fight. He just wants to get what he can, deny Morphling some creeps, but in terms of actually contesting the lane, yeah, there's not really much he can hope for. They don't really have the tools. They need to babysit mid more than they need to deal with this lane. Bambo's going to farm eventually. He's going to retreat to the jungle when he hits level 5, maybe. But for now, he's just concerned with keeping this tower alive, dropping the Midnight Pulse, and just getting what he can.
See some wards going down from Milan, pretty deep. Actually, yes, it was an Observer Ward placed, blocking the spawns even. And also going to steal some of the farm from the Silencer right there. So nice movement from Milan. Bottom lane. Lone Druid does have Phase Boots finished, so leaning more and more towards that idea of the ranged build as you're talking about. And you just look at that damage he's already putting out. Level 2 Drow Aura kicking in.
Yeah, you're talking about the Brewmaster CS, right? Remember, like, Lone Druid was sitting at 22-1, Panda was sitting 22-2, and now Lone Druid's 39-7. Panda, he gets 3 more CS from about 2 minutes ago, but yeah, the lane turns pretty bad for Panda. So, unless he gets some other kill threat so he can start, like, threatening with his ult, I don't really think there's that much he can do up here.
God, if he gets an Entangle proc, man, this Brewmaster actually could be in some trouble. Now, Brew is a little difficult, of course, with that Drunken Brawler, as we've seen the Drunken Haze being spammed out, but yeah, the pressure's definitely turned on. You're right, 42-7 now for the Lone Druid, so he's up there. So is Kaiser, though, again, with the Drow Aura kicking in more and more. Level 2 now, as mentioned, with the Precision Aura. She has her ultimate, becoming more of a threat.
For 120 now, so
Not this time.
Ooh,
the
Chappie.
damage of HellRaisers just went up a huge amount.
Sure did. This middle lane, Kaiser is in a little bit of trouble. He throws out the Gust. The Cogs are not going to block, however. Brewmaster coming from the side. Nice Fissure. Throwing out. The Nether Blast and the auto attack, though, is enough damage to take out the Drow Ranger. Primal split. Boulders flying in. Milan's in trouble. Probably dead here. No supports coming in for him. Maybe get the turn kill. That's not going to work. Will be finished off by Gostic, and good rotation coming out. Brewmaster figuring that top lane, not going so well all of a sudden. Well, let's go middle. And they end up getting a couple of kills out of it.
Fortunately, they don't have enough mana on the Pugna to take this tower, but... Oh, it's Power Rangers. Everyone's here.
They're coming in with the Fissure. That's going to scare them off, though. And they'll defend the tower. But yeah, weren't going to kill it anyways. But speaking of towers, top tower is taking some heavy damage from that lone druid.
The thing is, with playing against this draft now, there's always going to be a trade-off. You take some time to threaten the Drow, lone druid just starts hitting a tower. Like, in fact, Enigma has Black Hole up now, so Morphling's sitting at a very low health pool. Like, if they just get a Nightmare, or even just a Black Hole, Morphling can just disappear. But they catch J4 on the ward, so FN should realize that he needs to just play a little bit safer.
Yeah, that's a big ward to have right there, and it's obviously why they have it up, so definitely coming into play. Milan again, caught by Clockwork, and he just looks so derpy against him with that battery assault, but it's not going to be enough for the kill, and now Miposhka could be the one in trouble. The Bear's running him down. The Fissure comes out, 3-3. Spawns a new pair. Tries to get that positioning. Maybe going to go for a Tangle proc. Can't get it, though. Miposhka is escaping for now. Milan does not have enough mana for another Fissure. And it's on cooldown for another 5 seconds anyway. So Clockwork does make the escape after harassing Earthshaker quite a bit right there. Gets on out. But yeah, FN... Taking a look at the net worth, he's doing all right, 3,200. He's up there with his Pugna teammate. But Drow and Lone Druid are both top in the charts right now. Tower kill helping with that, I'm sure.
So they're just kind of getting a bit stronger. But it's just... Yeah, Lone Druid is just going to do a lot of damage now. He's working towards his Mask of Mana, so when he gets that, you can even look at Roshan as well, the Drow Aura. But I'm just wondering, like, Enigma's just getting... He's getting a lot now. He's only seeing 27 CS, but his farm's going to start to accelerate with max Eidolons as well. And I don't really think Empire have that much they can do. They have a level 3 Clockwork. Silence is level 4, but outside of Panda Blink, there's not really much like that they can use to just go. So even if like HellRaisers play up, there's not really that much to punish them. J4 could do stuff like this.
I mean, okay, yeah, he's hanging around a little bit, but there is supports coming in, so... Be a little careful there as far as the timing, but yeah, kind of being annoying to Morphling as Enigma scouts it out with the Eidolons, and actually they will get the counter ward successful as well. Miposhka sitting in the trees is going to be seen here. No, maybe not. Enigma does have that midnight pulse. Could have cleared the trees if he wanted to, but
even if he does, like even if they expect Black Hole, like it's not really going to be. I don't think they even get the kill, and if they do, it's probably not even worth. But as you can see here, Milan's getting the safe lane given to him now, so Lone Druid's gone, well, I've got lifesteal. I found the jungle pretty quickly, so he just leaves the lane, and then Milan is just going to be getting his level 6 up here, probably. Unless Ghostic just kills him.
Well, that just happened. Top lane now, though. Earthshaker, Primal Split used for this. He will not stop the Earth one. 8 more seconds, another boulder comes out, and that should be enough. Gostic is on a killing spree now, so yeah, killing J4 elsewhere. You see a TP rotation. A couple of heroes coming in. Lift up on the bear, but 3-3 is running in with that those phase boots. Mask of Madness is still in the works. Nightmare locking out Gostic, though, and he's definitely dead here. Pretty much accepting death at that point, so they eventually turn on him. Even Bane assists after coming off of that death.
Yeah, but the price of that is they move away from mid tower. Chappie takes that tower, but I think that's pretty much inevitable. You accept that you're going to lose the mid tower at some point to a Pugna. But Bamballs, you might be in danger here.
Go D4 of this. No TPs just yet. Lone Druid's coming in, but you might as well cancel that. Nope, never mind. He's still coming. He wants a kill out of this. Nice cogs, though. Push him off initially. Decrepify. They know Pugna's over here, though. They're going to catch him. Maybe an entangle. He decrepifies himself. Another blast turn on Milan. Empire has plenty of support here, and FN will help finish off on Earthshaker. Chappie even credit for the kill. They finally kill Clockwork, though. J4 off to the side. They have a shrine if needed. He nightmares up the Brewmaster, though. And 3-3 with that Mask of Madness is now ready to beat down with the auto attacks. You see that damage to Decrepify is huge, though. And it will save the Brewmaster, actually,
Radiant's top
for the
tower is
time
under
being. So
attack.
good support coming out in Empire. They kind of win quite the brawl here at this bottom lane.
Yeah, Pugna's just saving the day, really. Panda dying there, he's 200 gold away from his blink. A death there would be pretty rough, so keeping that Panda alive is extremely important. Although that's not really going to deter HellRaisers from just kind of running at this tower. They know Panda ulti's down still. Morphling, not the greatest defender of towers, so Empire are just going to take the scenic route and just send Morphling to top lane and just avoid the battles from now on.
Radiant structures are
When Panda gets
fortified.
dagger, maybe they're going to have a little bit of a battle, but for now, just avoid.
There you go. That's going to be another tower kill. Again, that's that Drow lineup.
Radiant's
Something you're
bottom
just going to
tower
have to
has
deal with
fallen.
if you're Empire, but overall, doing a pretty good job. Net worth nearly identical at this point. Do take a look at the levels, though,
Dire's
both
top tower
Morphling and
is under
Pugna
attack.
at level 10, as Lone are the only one on the other side currently. So level 10 as well. They're going to keep going bottom lane. As
Pugna has
everyone's
Veil
here.
now. He does a lot of damage. He could just stop this push in its tracks. Like, I don't think they can do this.
They're going to try, damn it.
Dire's
They're going after him. That
top tower is
Decrepify
under
again,
attack.
causing issue. The Fissure hits. Auto attacks from 3-3. There's
Dire's
definitely
top
plenty of
tower
damage,
has
but no stop on him,
Radiant's
so
bottom tower is under attack.
he'll be able to be at a distance. And you're right. I mean, Pugna alone is just such a force to reckon with as far as getting the bottom tower push. Now they're going to actually find Milan on Earthshaker. He's going to be caught out. That's a Primal Split use. They also throw Bane up in the air. Good job by the Brewmaster here. Good job of the microwing, and J4 is also going to get caught. Another blast. Double kill for Chappie. Yeah, HellRaisers kind of forcing themselves at the bottom tier 2, and they end up losing 2 heroes because of it.
Yeah, so it's retreating against Panda is almost impossible. Like, when Panda just drops ulti in that situation, you can't fight. You're going to lose 1 or 2 heroes almost certainly, because he has multiple ways to cancel TP. You just can't really get away. You can't run away because the Storm Hand is extremely fast. So, yeah, it's just very difficult. HellRaisers make a large commitment to the bot lane. As a result, they lose the top tower. Morphling gets about, well, maybe about 1,000 gold out of that whole thing. Problem with HellRaisers is they have to commit so much to really get so little. They've got, what, 200 damage on that tower. They almost kill Pugna, but not quite. But they have to use everything to get that. And meanwhile, Empire just kind of keep them off with the Pugna, and then they rotate in Panda, just use the ulti. They pretty much just fight that 4-on-5, and all that while Morphling can just trade around the map. So, and he has a Linken's now, so forget about getting a Fiend's Grip from Smoke or anything like that. So,
Yeah,
game's getting harder.
It is, and Brewmaster really has been doing a good job of using that Primal Split constantly. As I say that, he jumps in with the new Blink Dagger, thunderclaps everything, and follow up from Aposhka. Milan obviously going to die from that, but 3-3 able to beat down Clockwork in return, so the 1-for-1. Bane, Fiend's Grip on Silencer, they also get him. And his mid-tower in trouble, they also got the Brewmaster. Kaiser was actually doing plenty of damage to him in the back line, so that seemed like the start was going to be okay for Empire, but everyone collapses in favor of HellRaisers, and they get the mid-tower, so that's definitely more of what you're talking about there as far as getting plenty out of it. And now this tier 2 middle is in some trouble despite Chappie being nearby. He is by himself, and that gust will slow him down a little bit too.
Yeah, the problem against Drow lineups, if you get caught unawares, the damage difference between the two teams is just, you have to fight in an organized way. So before it was Pugna just clearing the wave and then sitting back, and then eventually when they feel ready, they go in with Panda ulti and then they fight. But without Panda ulti, they don't really win. So
Ooh, Primal
just
Split.
pop it now, though.
There you go. Yeah, they're going to try to use it here and catch Enigma. Burning him down, has support coming in. Clockwork, hook shot is not ready. He has a shrine, going to be lifted up. Can he get that support? Can they pop the shrine? They cannot. The cogs block him in. Great lockdown coming out from this Radiant side. By the way, Lone is doing this without a bear currently. Still 3 more seconds before he can respawn. Global Science Gothic is still charging in. He's going into 4 heroes, though, so you got to go probably fall back here if you're him. And, yeah, 4 staff over the ledge to help J4 stay alive. So they end up getting Enigma at least. Only get 1
The combination of the combination of Milan's Fissure and FN's Replicate. He made a replicate of the Pugna right as the Fissure was cast, so then that replicate then body blocked his entire team. So then they couldn't really follow up, which was mildly unfortunate, but he had the best of intentions. But still, he's 140 CS, he's going for the Manta style, so he doesn't have to worry about the Drow silence as well. So I'm just looking at Milan, he's just farming as much as he can, but it's they're fighting with Panda ulti, and they're taking even trades against Drow. They're remaining even. They're not letting the game get out of control. They haven't conceded Roche. They haven't conceded a huge number of towers. They've still got all their tier 2s remaining at 16 minutes. So, HellRaisers, they just need to catch them unawares, and right now they're smoking into them. So.
Well, they're using the bear as almost bait right here. The Entangle goes off onto the Clockwork. He had to decrepify on him initially, but obviously that's not going to matter in the long run. Kaiser will finish the job. Onto the Clockworks, and now grouping up at the bottom lane. Enigma is here with them as well. And you also look at the build Enigma's going for, by the way. He's going more of the mech into the Guardian Greaves even in this game, where in the previous games I've seen him, and even last game he of course went the Blink, the BKB, yada yada. This probably makes more sense though, right, as far as the theme of this lineup here.
Yeah, against the Panda ulti, against the Silencer, the Global, like, getting a Black Hole off is not so crucial. Just Enigma farms pretty fast, and he's a good aura carrier, so he's just going to be dropping Midnight Pulses and Malefices and Guardian Greaves in his team. And if Empire aren't careful and they don't handle this correctly, they could just take a lot of damage from their tier 3.
Yeah, this is the Drow lineup. This is what you want. Pushing tier 3.
Coming though, he's just Shrine. More things working towards hitting the tier 2, but no damage done on that yet.
It's not gonna, definitely not gonna be quicker than the Drow lineup here, that's for sure. 3-3. The misses on the uphill attacks, unfortunately, mean the tower is gonna stay alive in the end.
Hook shot's down though, so Panda's the only one who can go in now. So it's pretty scary, like just going in against Earthshaker like this, because you saw what happened in the last game. It was, remember, Mag was trying to blink in, and then he just got echoed immediately by Miposhka in that game, and the same thing could happen to the Panda. So they need to time his initiation with the Global in order to make sure he gets his split off properly at this point.
Yeah, great job by FN though. He does eventually get that tier 2 top, and man, his farm is really starting to take off now. 10,000 plus net worth, leading the game, pulling ahead of the Lone Druid even, which he was even with for a bit here. Last 5 minutes or so, but now taking over.
Once he gets Manta, like, and he gets on top of the Drow, they have to use so much to get him off, like, to just get him off the Drow. Like, you can't really fight if the Drow has just got a Morphling on top of him, because Morphling does a lot of damage, and with the Adaptive and the Replicate as well, it's just... Drow is just not that great versus Morphling, or rather, Morphling is very good against Drow. I think they're pretty good against each other for the most part. So, Miposhka's going to get what he can bot lane. Empire are just trying to split up the map. They're pushing out all the lanes. They don't really want to fight right now. They're waiting on the Morphling's item, so just playing it calm.
On level 15 on Lone Druid is also pretty important. That plus 50 damage talent. It's a quite the enhanced damage right there, and that he's going to be looking forward to picking up. It's almost essentially a free Sacred Relic, of course. And he's going to head towards the bottom lane to help him trying to finish this Death Slitter. I mean, you see that damage on Miposhka, man. That's just simple auto attacks. And the range he has as well with the Dragon Lance and that 175 attack range talent on top of that. So, you know, we don't get to see the range build all too often anymore, but definitely a reminder that it is still a threat, and of course with the Drow mixed in. Biggest reason perhaps. Hurricane Pike finished on Drow, speaking of that. And Enigma getting close to the Guardian Greaves, just needs the recipe. Or he's going to be good to go. On the other side, that Manta style just about finished. The Ultimate Orb, all that's left in as far as the purchase goes. And Pugna's going to be working on the Ags now. It's 1,000 gold saved up. Still yet to purchase any of those components. But yeah, Death Slitter just finished onto Lone Druid here. So that seems like an item where you want to just start going for more objectives now. If you're HellRaisers.
Yeah, both objectives and it's just a huge damage increase, you know? Like, if he gets left alone for a few seconds in these fights, he can kill Pugna extremely quickly if he doesn't have decrypt up. He can take out the Silencer, he can pretty much kill the Brewmaster ulti like things in a few seconds, but Kaiser has Hurricane Pike on cooldown, so he's probably just dead.
He has a wand, he's gonna use it right here, but yeah, the lift up on Earthshaker, now he's hanging around a little bit too long. He has an Echo Slam. Probably dead anyways though, so what's the point? They're just distracting as much as possible. As you look at the bottom lane, they did have the fortification. So he cannot get the tower while they distract him. And now with Morphling here on the Manta style, probably want to be a little bit careful. Bane, he's going to go for the Fiend's Grip. That's a global silence, though. Stops it immediately. And Bane is now going to be run down most likely. Lone Druid will be able to TP out. Oh, man, that was actually close. There's a rocket hitting the area, so he gets out. They did not get tier 3, though. Oh, yes, they did. Never mind. I'm sorry. So they managed to actually take it out behind.
Yeah, I believe that's the result of the catapult that could. So they get the tier 3, but they lose an extraordinary amount for it. So At this point, I think HellRaisers just need to get their BKBs, they need to get Roche, and then they need to fight then, because I think without BKBs, this Morphling and the Pugna are going to put out way too much damage. Not to mention the Panda ulti just interfering with everything. Like, Enigma has Greaves if he wants them, but I'm not sure if he wants to go Greaves or Blink at this point, because they don't really have any way of like getting on top of their opponents at this point.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, it's 80 seconds still about before Silencer's Global Silence is up, so maybe that could be a point of, like, if they feel like the fight could happen to, maybe go Blink instead right now. But yeah, he might actually just go for it, though, as you're pointing out. He actually has enough goal for both now. It's just a matter
This is a big decision. Depends on how they want to play this game. If they think that they can get the Silencer +1 in the Black Hole, then that's going to be pretty big, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go for the Blink.
He's going to the side shop here, looks like it. You also have Earthshaker just got his too as well, so there you go. They
double Blink daggers. Okay, so now they have the 2 Blink daggers. They're going to go, okay, we've got our spells. Now, what do we need to deal with? We need to find the Silencer. So they're going to be hunting the Silencer. You catch him, you have a chance of getting your ultis off, and then you have a chance of winning the fight. HellRaisers are pretty much, they just want to guarantee Lone Druid's right-clicking time. The more time Lone Druid has to right-click, the more likely they are to kill the Panda, to kill the Clockwork, to kill pretty much any hero that's just kind of in their face. So, because Lone Druid, he's still doing very well, but Morphling is eclipsing him at this point because he's just got 250 CS and he's been given the whole map to himself. But they're smoked up behind the Lone Druid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There we go. Bears up top, giving them the vision. Jump in, Brewmaster. He got silenced up, though. He could have Primal Split initially because of that. He's going to be Black Hole on top of the Echo Slam, but a lot used right there, not getting much out of it. They did pick off Silencer, but they're going to lose Earthshaker now. 3-3, he's running down Chappie. He's in that melee form, is Lone Druid, actually, but ultimately going to be thrown up in the air now and taken out of this fight. Kaiser, he's got Cox surrounding him, and they're going to lose another teammate in Enigma. They do also lose Drow and the Bane, and all of a sudden it's just 3-3 who is left. He goes back to range for him, putting an auto attack into Chappie. It's not going to be enough, though. Triple kill for FN. That was not the fight you're hoping for HellRaisers. Props to Empire, though, for sure.
Yeah, it looked okay. They got the silence off onto the Panda immediately, but then they used the Echo and the Globe. They used the Echo and the Black Hole. Immediately gets globaled. Morphling is just hunting people in the back lines the entire time. They get the Fiend's Grip up on FN, but unfortunately, 33 was off chasing the Pugna, and he almost kills Chappie, but then Chappie runs off to the high ground, gets a decrep off, and then he runs off and shrines. So yeah, everything that could go wrong did go wrong, I think. So and that was, I'm pretty sure, one of their last chances to really get to the high ground before Morphling gets his E-Blade. He's sitting on 4.1k gold, 16,000 net worth. He's sitting pretty dominant at this point, so he's starting to ping the enemy tier 1s. Oh, J4. Uh-oh. Oh, he's going to be left alone for now, but...
Yeah. It's almost lucky that he got cursed right there, because without that, he might have just kind of peeked in more and been in a bad position, but he got cursed. He's like, all right, something's up. So he falls back.
Yeah. E-Blade is now in action. Morphling's just going to straight up buy it, probably sell the wand. There we go. Oh. Just not bought his... I guess he's keeping buyback? That's the only reason why I wouldn't buy it at this point. So yeah, they could still lose if Morphling just gets randomly picked off with a Drow Silence after his Manta Style or something like that. So at this point you feel so confident that you don't really need Morphling to be any stronger than he is. Just get the E-Blade. So you just stay at the Ghost Scepter, keep the buyback. Makes sense.
Yeah, looking back at the last fight too, I mean, I know it's in the moment. It's just when a fight breaks out like that, you're just trying to make your reactions. But using the Black Hole and the Echo Slam on essentially a solo Brewmaster, which obviously they didn't even end up killing, and the Global Silence anyways got canceled immediately. You got to pick and choose your targets better. It feels like if you're HR here in the back lines, Clockwork's going to go in, disrupt Milan. If anything, he's going to die for this, but kind of slows him down from stealing Roshan. Also, Enigma, he nearly dropped to the life drain. He'll barely live, though. That fissure block is helping him a little bit over down here. Clockwork, first remaining dead. Enigma got picked up. Milan jumps in. The Aegis was picked up by FN, though, and the shotgun blast comes out onto Earthshaker. Drow's thrown in the air, taking him out completely. Bane's going to go down as well, and they just surround the Drow Ranger now. More burst, double kill for FN, and a very successful Roshan fight if you're Empire right there. Again, HellRaisers kind of just running into a fight, and Clockwork caused the issue initially, and they weren't able to go for any kind of steal.
Yeah, initially Clockwork just makes sure Earthshaker can't get his Echo. So if there's no like 5-man Echo or 3-man Echo or something like that, there's no real way that HellRaisers can win the fight. Lone Druid was able to kill Clockwork, but FM was just like, fine then, I don't need to do anything else in this fight, I'm just going to go hit Roche. And now he has his E-Blade, which is travel, Aegis, they have a Vlad's on the Panda as well, so he starts hitting even harder. Hitting for 300 already at this point. They're going to push out all the lanes. Pugna now has Ags as well, so... It's not over. They still have a Lone Druid, who's very annoying to take high ground against. They have Enigma, who with Midnight Pulse can be very irritating as well. Empire need to watch their positioning, push out lanes, but it's looking very, very... But they're in a confident position from here, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, Empire, definitely this is where you want to be. I mean, but this is a lineup where exactly you're never too confident because the Black Hole, let alone, you know, the big Earthshaker initiated with an Echo Slam catches a couple out. And if they get a couple of picks, especially on a hero like a Morphling, then they will push objectives insanely fast with this lineup. So it's not over, but Empire, no doubt, feeling comfortable with their position. A 10,000 net worth lead. Feeling good, I should say. Again, not comfortable, but good. MKB for a Lone Druid it's being worked on. He almost has enough to outright finish it here, as he's sitting on 2,800 gold. So that's going to be a lot more damage even from the Lone Druid.
Yeah, he just needs to instantly kill like 2-3 people with the initial Echo Slam. But I'm just looking at Vanscore's quick buy. Do you think that's a little bit too ambitious?
Who's that? FN?
Vanscore. He's just,
Vanscore.
He's got 700 gold, and he's got that in his quick buy. It's a good silencer game where you know you can just go Tranquil and Refresher and still be useful. But they're going to try and trade this. 33 is running into the bottom lane. He's got Deso. He's got a lot of damage, but already FN's gone back. So
yeah,
he does have a replicate. So if they TP back too soon, he might just jump back.
And end up dropping the bear right here as well. So it's a nice bounty for FN there.
Okay, so FN decides to stay in bot lane, so they just need to make sure not to lose Chappie here. But I don't think HellRaisers have the bravery to really venture too far out. Other than J4, who seems is just fine to go and hit the creep wave by himself, but then he gets joined by 33 and Bambo.
Nope, Heel's got the mirror.
J4's just exploring.
Yeah.
He's just running around.
On a mission. Seeing what kind of feathers he can ruffle here. A reaction he can get. Well, by now, FN, he's back. The middle lane, going to join up with his team. See, he has another 2,600 gold saved up. Of course, he still has the Aegis, remember.
And the small thing is just too big. Like, he doesn't even have to hit the buildings. They have Pugna for that, but... Oh, it takes a lot of damage there, but... Again, he's a Morphling. He's very difficult to bring down. Hand ulti comes off. He's going off to Drow.
Hits him with the rock. Lifts up J4. Pugna sucking down Bane, and Bane will fall. Decrepify on top. FN's going for the racks, meanwhile. He's just focused solely on the objectives here as they kill Bane, and Gothic will come back together.
Just watching Bambo and like, there's nothing he can do. He's just playing Enigma versus Silencer. Like, it doesn't matter if he gets the Black Hole. Silencer's just sitting so far back that there's no reward, even if he catches the best Black Hole in the world. Like, just gonna mean nothing, and Empire just can run around doing whatever they want.
Top shrine has
it's
fallen.
Just, it's so difficult already. I'm just overemphasizing that. But Bambo now, he's got the he's getting close to BKB, 1,100 gold away. 33, he's got his MKB now. He's pushing up bot lane. They're still farming, but they just don't have any BKBs yet. And without BKBs against Pugna Panda as well, it's really hard to fight.
I'm almost wondering if you're going on back to the Enigma, do you even bother getting BKB here? I mean, I know he's committed towards it really at this point, but they still have great stoppers despite the BKB. So.
Oh, he's dead now, so he doesn't have to worry about those things.
Right. You have more time to think about it, at least.
But the BKB is still nice. Like, if you don't have it, then... I mean, BKB just means you're only worried about global, right? Otherwise, Morphling could adapt you. Oh, Echo coming out.
Four staff though immediately, Decrepify and Global Silence, everything being used in response, and now HellRaisers, they're in retreat mode, of course. Bane, he's going to get cut off here most likely. Milan does what he can to help him out, but Gothic will find him and try to finish the job. Morphling jumps in and beat down the bear, as they do finish off Bane, but and then instead get the tier 2 tower, and it's just Empire is just controlling the whole map now from HellRaisers
well,
here.
If there was ever a time for Enigma to make a play, he's got 10 seconds. He's up in 10 seconds. Global is down, so he has a chance to do something. But already the fight begins on Drow.
Yeah, Promise Split already active. Drow's forced on the back foot because of that. Lift in the air again, taking Lone Druid out of the fight for quite a while. You see FN, he's now running in. Gonna go right for the tier 3 tower, takes it out. Lone Druid gonna be dropped, bashed up as well. The Brewmaster, there we go, the Black Hole. Guess what? It stopped immediately by a hook shot. And so FN's more than fine. You gotta try though, I guess. Clockwork goes down, but so does Enigma. You see Life Drain locking down Lone Druid, or sucking him down and gets the kill, and Morphling's gonna clean up. We're going to a game 5, guys. Empire with the victory here, and not to beat a dead horse, but similar to game 1 with HellRaisers outdrafting Empire, that was definitely the case here. I mean, forcing that Enigma and then not banning the silencer, it did seem like an odd choice.
I can't remember what they banned instead, but I think I was more worried about the silencer, but maybe they had something different in mind. I think they were thinking like, okay, they get silencer, whatever, then we just kind of get strong lanes, we push down with our Lone Druid. When he gets Deso, like we go with the timing, we get Hurricane Pike on Drow, Deso on Lone Druid, and we just get Guardian Greaves on Enigma, and we just go. But I don't think they're expecting to really lose fights that they did, you know? Morphling ended up farming for the entire game without any interruption whatsoever. And then Chappie was still able to make these skirmishes work with Imposture and just defend these tier 2 towers against even 5 HellRaisers heroes. And when that ratio of effort, you know, in those fights is so skewed, it lets Morphling just get out of control.
Sure does. Confident pick with the Morphling, and it worked out beautifully, and we got a game number 5 once again here. We're coming down the wire. So Empire, they've made the comeback. They've won 2 in a row themselves. They're the ones with momentum now, and they're on the verge of obviously taking the series. But so is HellRaisers. They've been these previous couple of games. They're going to have to try again, though, in what will be, again, a 5th and final game. So, guys, stay tuned. Going to go on a short break, as always. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Rhyme. Tuning into the SkinCoin WCA coverage here. If you type !SkinCoin in chat, you can get information on the giveaway going on. As well as if you go to skincoin.org, you can check out the latest cryptocurrency on the esports market. That's skincoin.org. Trade in your favorite Dota 2 and CSGO skins. Game number 5 coming up next. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.